Hello and welcome to How to Make a Basic Platformer with Mr. Technomoon. So in this tutorial we will be learning how to make a basic platformer game. If you don't already know, platformers are really popular in Scratch as they are very easy to make but can also be very entertaining to play. So let's get straight into it. I'll call mine Basic Platformer Part 1 because hopefully we will have about two parts in this series, two or three parts. And then once you've done that and named your project, delete Scratchcat, we will not need him. Then hover over choose a sprite and click paint. You want your sprite size to be about 50 pixels by 50 pixels, as you can see here. Right now there is nothing here, so it's 0 by 0. You want that to be like about 50 by 50. I'll make my sprite a lava dude, so I'm gonna make him red. While holding down shift, oops, I forgot to remove the outline. Don't forget to remove the outline. Boom. And make sure you grab it and center it off there. And get a corner, press Alt and make it bigger or smaller depending on what you need to do. 72 by 72, a little bit too big. 44 by 44. 49 by 49, that seems good enough. Yep, so here's our player. I'll call it player. So let's come over here to decode. So what we wanted to do is go to a certain position, which will be here. And to make that a little bit less confusing, I'll actually go and make the level first. So I want my level to be a backdrop. So I'll make a light blue sky. Yep. The nice light blue sky. Then I will click away. Then I will get some green grass and have a strip of green grass. Beautiful. So once you've done this, we will need to make it so that way the player, once they touch the lava or the spikes or whichever obstacles we'd like to add in, they'll come right back here. So I'll do this through some variables to make it a little bit less confusing for you guys. So come over here to events. When green flag clicked, motion, point in direction 90. Let me zoom in. Point in direction 90. Come over to variables. We will not need my variable, so you can right click and delete my variable. Click on make a variable and call it X spawn for all sprites, and don't click cloud variable. Don't click for the sprite, just click all for all sprites and click OK. Hide it and put set spawn X to, we want it to spawn about here, maybe a little bit over, yeah, about there. So I'll put mine to negative 170, and then we will create a new variable. So click on make a variable and call it Y spawn. Yep, make sure for all sprites do not pick these two and click OK. You can hide it and set Y spawn to negative 120. And then we'll come over here to motion and we'll click drag out a go to block, and then we'll come over here to variables, go to X spawn and Y spawn. Now we can come over here to looks and drag out a show block so that way it will actually show. And that might be a little bit too big, maybe a little bit smaller might be better, so I'll set mine to about 80% of that. So come over here to looks, drag out a set size to 80%. There, that's good. Now we will need a few more variables. So we will need X for all sprites. Click OK. And we will need Y for all sprites. Click OK. And we will probably need a level variable for later. So it's good to have these variables on hand when we need them. And let's keep coding. Set X to 0 and set Y to 0. Then we'll need to come over here to control and drag out a forever block. Come over here to my blocks, make a block and call it start. I'll call mine start. Make sure you do not click run without screen refresh or else it'll look really weird. So make sure that's unticked. Then you get these blocks. Drag out this block right here. Forever start. Okay, great. So define start. So we'll forever want to change y by like negative 0.5. So that way like it keeps going down, but then it goes back up when it hits the grass. So let's grab out a forever loop. So forever variables change y by negative 0.5, and then we'll come over here to the control blocks again, grab out an if statement, come over here to operators, drag out an OR. In here we will control like whether they want to go left or right, but remember there are two main controls. There's the arrow keys, but then there's also WASD. So we will make it available for both types to make it more entertaining for people who like one type more than the other. I specifically like the WASD, but of course you might like the arrow keys, so we'll make it for both. So come over here to sensing, drag out two keys are pressed, so then change them to if key left arrow or key A is pressed. Then we will change X, change X by about negative 0.8, I think. Yeah, that would be good. And we can duplicate that and we'll make it so that way it's the right arrow. So put right arrow key pressed or D key pressed. Yep, change X by 0.8. That's good. Okay, so now we will set X to whatever X is times by 0.9. I already have these numbers preset, but of course, if you want to play around with them, go ahead. So set X to, then come over here to operators, drag out a multiple sign, multiply sign block, which has this little star here. And with that, we will come over here to operators, variables, set X to X times by 0.9. Now we will need to change X, like the actual X variable, X thing by what our X variable is. There. Change X by X. So as you may see, over here, we have told it to forever change Y by negative 0.5. If we do that, our player will be over here, and then they'll just go boom, 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 and then go off the screen. We don't want that. We just want it to like sit on the ground, nice and comfortably. So let's get to that. So this will need a lot of if-then blocks. So let's get straight into it. So right underneath this, drag out and come over here to control, drag out an if block, if sensing touching color, and then this is important that you know your color, so that means you can click on this pick from backdrop, so that way you can pick from here. I'll pick this green for my grass, and then I will come over here to motion, change Y by 1. Okay, so that's good. But like, but if it's still touching the green color, then we will do it again, and we'll need to do it about 6 or so times, I guess. Yeah. So keep doing that. Boom. 3, 4. Oh, make sure you don't grab that top one, else it's going to break your code. 5, and last time 6. Look, it didn't take that long to do, and it makes a really cool effect in my point of view. But yep, and that's what we will need. So now, of course, we'll need jumping because jumping is important in platformers. So let's add some jumping. So come over here to control again, and we will drag out an if else block and put it right here. Oh yes, I almost forgot. Don't forget that on the last one, you need to change y by -6. Okay? So make sure it's change y by -6 before you do this. And don't forget to also add the change x. So change x by, where is it there? Change x by x times -1. Change x by x times -1. And then we will do this. So if up arrow key pressed or W key pressed, so we'll come over here to operators, grab out another OR block, come over here to sensing, drag out a keys pressed, and what is it? Up arrow and W key pressed. It's down here somewhere there. Okay, so that means if that happens, then we will need to set Y to 10, of course, first of all. So set Y to, oops, set Y to 10. Then if X is bigger than 0, then we will set X to probably -10. But if it's not bigger than 0, then we'll set it to 10. Otherwise, we'll just set it to 0. Okay? Does that make sense? Hopefully. So let's keep going. Else, let's do this part. Else set X to 0. Then we will need to come over here, grab another if else block, put this one underneath this one. Don't make sure you don't put it above or accidentally in this part, or else it will break your code. And then going through your code and checking what went wrong is really annoying. So make sure you do them properly. So if x is bigger than 0, then we will set x to, let me think, -10, yes. But if it's not bigger than 0, then we will set it to 10, right? Yep, 10. Okay, now we only have a little bit left. So then we will of course need to change y. Wait, let me think where this goes. Yep, change y by, have a custom variable y. Change y by y, and then we will need another if touching one. So we will come over here and click control if, grab an if then block and put it underneath change y. If touching color, and we want your ground color, so click the eyedropper tool, click to the ground color. So if touching color green, or the color of my ground, then we will want to change y by, y times by -1, since we changed x by x times by -1. So we'll come over here, operators, get a times block, change y by y times -1. Boop. And then we will set y to 0. Yep, set y to 0. And now after this, we will want to make sure that we change y by -5. So come over here to motion, grab out a change y by block and put that underneath this one. Make sure that you don't put it in it or above it, or like somewhere else than this place, or else of course your project will break. No one likes that though. No one likes their projects to break. Come over here to control, grab out an if block. So if, and then we'll need to grab out the operator greater than. So if x position is greater than 700, well, not 7, 217, which will be about the end of the screen here, it will be able to move on. So let's, if, come over here to motion, x position is greater than 217, then we will change our level by 1. And we will go to, and this is where your x and y spawn comes in handy. X spawn, y spawn. And we will go on to try and create some obstacles and probably even a trampoline. That would be fun. But first of all, let's test this out. But before, of course, we test it out, we will make more levels. So first of all, let's get our when green flag is clicked variables, set level to 1. I forgot to zoom in, sorry. There we go. And then we wanted to forever come over here to looks and grab out a switch backdrop 2. This is where variables come in really helpful. Switch backdrop to level. So let's add some more levels. It's backdrop 1, and I will just right click duplicate it, so that way it's easier to use and easier to like not make any mistakes. And we will create an obstacle here probably, and then we can, ooh, ouch. Okay, and then we can duplicate that, and we can probably create 2 obstacles here, duplicate it, and I want mine to be 8 levels long, actually 7 levels long. So I will come over here to our select tool, click our green, click copy, click paste, come over here, then turn this around. Oops, don't forget to hold shift while doing it, and there, so that way they can't move on. A little bit bigger. There we go. Okay, let's test this out. It should just be straight. Okay, we have ran into a bug, have we? Okay, what have we done wrong? Hmm, let's have a look. That, boom, 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 boom. Yep, 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 yep. Okay, okay, yep. Okay, let's try clicking the green flag again. Okay, why is this not working? Well, then that's a problem that we need to solve. Have I accidentally typed in the wrong number? Boom. Oh, I understand what I've done wrong here. I've skipped out a whole part. Oh, what silly of me. Okay, well, of course, I'm going through my sample project that I've created here on my other monitor, and I saw that I've actually skipped out a whole part from my sample project. So let's actually come back to control, drag out an if block, and put it right here. here. Make sure you drag that out, as sometimes Scratch does want to not cooperate with us. And of course, let's duplicate this. Let's remove this. Get that there. Change y by negative 0.5. Then if touching color to color and up arrow key pressed or W key pressed. That means if your up arrow or W key pressed and we're touching the color green, then it will of course set white to that. Oh, what silly of me to forget that. Sorry guys. That's alright. That's why we should always test our projects and make sure that before we release them, there are as less bugs as possible. Of course, you can't test all of the bugs. Like, there will still be some bugs when you release your project. But make sure that you go through your projects and have a look through them. Make sure that most of the things work. If they don't work, that's alright. Still release it and ask the Scratch community to help you. So let's see. Does this now work? Okay, that does not work. What have I done wrong here? Oh, I understand. I put this inside the if block. Oh, what silly of me. Of course, this is what happens. If you don't place it in the correct position, your project will break. Let's see this. Let's reset. Great. You can see that little animation. Oh, our up arrow key is not working. Okay, let's see if we can move on. Yep, we can move on, and let's see what level are we up to now. Yep, and we're on the last level. Okay, short problem. My up jumping isn't working. Oh well, that's for next tutorial. Comment down below in the comments and tell me if you're up, like whether you can jump up or not. Is it just my project that's not working? Or have I made a mistake in the code? Comment down below. And, well, in this tutorial we have like created a very good platformer. But the problem is that our platformer is kind of bland and we really need to add some obstacles and make it a little bit more interesting. So, uh, thanks for watching and have a good day or have a good night. Bye!